Hey guys, let's talk about Gaza. Many Israelis know that ending the attack on Gaza means an end to Netanyahu's political coalition, which is dominated by religious zealots who have long called for the immiseration and ultimate expulsion of the Palestinian people. In fact, this notion that the Palestinians have no place in Palestine is nothing new. It is a principle rooted deeply in the fabric of political Zionism, not to be confused with peaceful cultural Zionism that over 100 years ago called for peaceful coexistence in the Holy Land. In 1937, David Ben-Gurion, Israel's founding father and chief architect of the violent settler colonial regime, laid out his plans for the nascent Jewish state in a letter to his son. In it, he explained that a Jewish state in part of Palestine was only the beginning of a process by which the Israelis could amass enough power to dispossess all of Palestine's Arab inhabitants. In other words, the goal of Israel's state planners was never peaceful coexistence and integration into the region. Instead, the goal has long been the realization of not just an Israel, but a greater Israel that would dispossess the Arabs from large swaths of the Middle East and encompass Palestine, Lebanon, and Jordan, along with significant parts of Syria, Iraq, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia. Benjamin Netanyahu's recent actions and statement have made it clear that this goal remains as alive as ever. The Israelis made their first real step towards that goal on November 29th, 1947, when the UN General Assembly partitioned British-controlled Palestine into a Jewish state on 56% of the land and an Arab state on the remaining 44%. In the ensuing War of Independence, Israel conquered a full 78% of Palestine, and in 1967, following the Six-Day War, Israel illegally occupied the remaining 22%. This illegal occupation has gone up to the present day, and no, Israel did not end its occupation of the Gaza Strip in 2004. This is a common misconception that we don't have time to delve into here. In 2023, the Israelis took the next step in realizing their ultimate vision. The October 7th terrorist attacks by militant Palestinian resistance factions offered the perfect pretext for beginning a program of systematic dispossession of the indigenous population. The Palestinian body politic, contrary to the distorted narrative pushed within the Western media and academic circles, has been actually in favor of establishing an internationally recognized two-state solution since at least January 23, 1976. On that day, the Palestinian Liberation Organization and the major Arab confrontation states, Egypt, Syria, and Jordan, brought to the UN Security Council Resolution S/11940. This resolution called for an end to the Israeli occupation, the formation of a Palestinian state on only 22% of historic Palestine, the right of all states in the region, including Palestine and Israel, to live within secure and recognized borders, and the right of return for refugees displaced from what is now Israel, among other things. This resolution still serves as the internationally recognized basis of a peaceful resolution to the conflict. But Israel and the U.S. categorically reject such resolutions every time they come up for a vote in the UN Security Council. And the U.S. veto, unfortunately, at the UN Security Council means that anything it votes against is immediately killed. Rather than achieving peace, U.S. policymakers want Israel to continue acting as an unrestrained instrument of U.S. power in the world's most oil-rich region. And that's what they mean when they say, Israel's our ally and we must support our ally in the Middle East over and over and over again, no matter what they do. They want Israel to continue acting as an unrestrained instrument of U.S. power in the world's most oil-rich region. And the Israelis want settlement and domination. Later on, during the negotiations in the 90s and in 2000 at the Camp David peace talks, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, led by the inept Yasser Arafat, agreed to compromise on the right of return for refugees so as not to threaten Israel's Jewish demography, which is perfectly fair. Those who argue in support of Israel's actions often bring up the demographic issue, but that issue was in fact settled long ago. Making sense of what's happening in the Middle East right now can seem daunting, and the matter is often made out to be too complex to solve. So I want to keep posting content like this to help people navigate this reality. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure to like, comment, and follow or subscribe. Thanks so much.